My first guest is a film director who's been responsible for some of the most exciting movies of the last 15 years. It is, of course, Mr. Quentin Tarantino. Quentin, lovely to see you. Now, Quentin is an experienced director. Now, that's fair to say, isn't it? You're an experienced.
Yes, very fair to say.
You've earned your spurs. I think it's time for you to step up to the plate and take on the movie you were born to direct.
Which is what?
The new Harry Potter.
No.
I can see it. I can see Harry in a gimp mask, Hermione in a ball gag fighting off ninja assassins.
You know, now, if I could take it that way, maybe we could have a conversation.
OK. Mr. Quentin Tarantino's on the show, ladies and gentlemen. He's back in the house, as they say.
You know, can I just say, I love British television. You're able to show one of the bloodiest scenes in Reservoir Dogs in the clip on the talk show.
Never mind that. I thought you were going to say something nice about my dog, you selfish bastard. It's all about you, isn't it,
Can
Quentin?
I say something about the thing?
If you must.
Okay. The little Jason King.
I like the sound of that.
Jason King the movie. I think maybe we've got the right guy.
Do you like a bit of Jason King?
I like Jason King.
Okay,
I like Randall and Hopkirk.
So you've been what? So you're a student of British TV as well
It was actually funny because a lot of them got syndicated in America, and so you would like see them at like 5 o'clock on Sunday. But like you had to kind of trip over it and find them. Then but like for instance, Randall and Hopkirk was called My Partner the Ghost in America.
But it kind of sums up the idea, the premise.
Personally, I actually kind of like the title My Partner
the Ghost. So am I right in thinking that as a child you were probably someone who spent quite a lot of time indoors? Watching things.
Oh yeah, I did a lot. Yeah, I was always very. I always loved movies, and I was always really connected to movies and television. Yeah.
How were you with girls? When did girls enter your life? When did you get interested in girls, and when did girls start returning that interest?
You know, when I did Reservoir Dogs.
When you became an internationally famous director, suddenly.
Silly that, all right. No, oddly enough, one of the things that was funny was. What was really weird is I did really, really good with girls at the very beginning of elementary school.
So how old is that? It's like 11, 12?
No. I mean like kindergarten, first grade. I'm not talking about I shagged them. I'm just saying.
You're saying you had it.
They kind of liked me, and I was actually pretty charming and whatever. And I proceeded to lose that over time.
So you went through a period where you presumably you didn't get a lot of action. You won't get a lot of girlfriends either.
Actually, part of the problem of that was the fact that I quit school.
So what age were you when you quit school?
I think I was 15.
And can you legally do that?
Well, you know, oddly enough, how I ended up quitting school was a weird situation, which to this day, my mom does not remember that it happened quite this way, but this is exactly how it happened. Again, I'm just rebelling against school because I hate it. So one day I ditch. I don't go to school, and then I ditch again the next day, and I ditch again the next day. Now, next thing you know, it's been a week, and I haven't been to school.
Yeah.
Well, now I can't go back because the minute I go back, I'm going to get in trouble. You know, the minute I go back, they're going to say what happened, and they're going to call my mom to confirm it.
Yeah.
So now I'm stuck. So I just keep staying out. All right. So now it's about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And finally they call my mom, what's going on? And I'm busted. So we're having this huge row. And she, just in a fit of anger, as I'm, walking out of the room or something like that, praying she doesn't like beat me with a belt. All right. I'm like, I quit anyway. I'll be damned if you quit, slam the door. And so, maybe the next day or 2 days later, she's putting on her makeup, in the bathroom, and she's like bitching at me about something. And she goes, "Oh, and by the way, you know what? I'm gonna let you quit. If you want to quit, I'm gonna let you quit. However."
Quentin, have you ever seen a woman put makeup on? Because this is like, what was she in the Kabuki theater or something?
Well, the thing about it was that at first I was just doing it just to get the point across, then I started getting specific with it.
That was some method acting going on right there. He was in the moment.
She goes, "If you want to quit, I'm gonna let you quit, but then you got to go out and get a job."
Yeah.
I was gobsmacked. I could not believe she actually said I could quit school.
And what, were you terrified or were you excited?
I couldn't believe it. I don't have to go to school anymore. I was over the moon.
You seem to be still quite excited.
They put it like this.
Yeah.
To this day, and to the rest of my life, every time September rolls around, I thank God I don't have to go back.
Okay, so let's talk about the new movie now, because we have a new movie released over here, a Tarantino movie. It's always an exciting event in my life when I know there's a new movie from coming out.
Thank you.
This has got a strange history, though. It's unusual in the way it's come out. I suppose not that unusual. Kill Bill had an interesting kind of birth as well. That was going to be one movie, then became two movies. This was two movies, kind of, not both by Young, became one. It was initially a double bill with another film. Tell me how this came about and what the thinking was here.
Yeah, well, the whole thing was me and Robert Rodriguez wanted to. He's the RR in my shirt. We wanted to create a whole thing of like a 70s exploitation double bill, the way they used to do.
Yeah. And these were the kind of experiences you grew up enjoying.
Yeah, exactly.
So you would go to the movie and there would almost always be two films on.
Yeah, there would be two movies, and a lot of times exploitation movies would be made to actually literally put them together. All right,
so they'd be a certain length and they'd be made to complement one another.
Yes, exactly. And you'd see that, and they play in all the drive-ins, and they play at all the grindhouses.
So what kind of movies are we talking about? Which films did you see? Which films did you enjoy on a double bill as a youth?
Oh gosh, that's a good question. Oh, there was a few of them. Coffee and the Mac.
So Coffee was a Foxy Brown movie,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Coffee was Pam Grier.
Okay.
And the Mac was Max Julien and Richard Pryor.
I've never seen the Mac.
You got to do it. Cut back to Sam Jackson and hear him say you've never seen the Mac.
I've never seen the Mac, Sam. Is that
You've never seen the Mac? You haven't lived.
Actually, okay, in any black neighborhood throughout the 80s, when the Mac was like so old, it's not even funny.
It was a big movie.
Well, it was a huge movie when it came out, all right? And it was a great movie. No, it's the Scarface of pimp stories.
Right.
And it was actually written by a former pimp, so one of the things that's so great about the movie is the dialogue. Not only is it great and flowery, like a lot of the blaxploitation movies, it's actually also really authentic as far as the pimp trade is concerned. And there's also tons of pimps, real life pimps, all the way through it.
Well, I can see it has so much to recommend it.
Well, yeah, very much.
I would not say so.
And Max Julien gives actually one of the greatest. Here's what you need, because I know you like exploitation movies. One of the single greatest performances in the history of exploitation cinema is Max Julien's performance of Goldie as the Mac.
I feel ashamed of myself for never having heard of them.
We'll forgive you.
Okay. Well, these films, you see, you put them together, but you had to have stamina to sit through two movies, even though they were both 90 minutes long.
Well, people now, as we learned with Grindhouse, now, yeah, you're right.
People aren't used to it. They're not conditioned to accept that much entertainment.
It was like, all the more movie for your money. I mean, when people went to the movies, it wasn't meant to be this like thing that was supposed to get through just so they could get to the dinner. Yeah. All right. Yeah. It was like people were there. They were there to see two movies. There would be a riot in the theater if there wasn't two movies.
So the double bill didn't do as well as anyone had expected, or indeed you would expect a film by you or Mr. Rodriguez to do, did it? Yeah. I mean, it really didn't do that much business, did it?
No,
as a double bill.
No, it was a little disappointing when it opened up. And part of the thing was the fact that we realized basically was people don't want to see two movies on a Friday night or a Saturday night.
Do you think it was self-indulgent of you to do this with Robert? Because there are moments in the movie which, and I love these kind of movies, so I kind of am, you're preaching to the converted here already. But I can understand why. I spoke to some people in America and they said that there were people complaining about the projectionist. And in actual fact, you've shot it so it looks like it's badly projected at times and there are mistakes. And I imagine a lot of people just think, what's going on here?
I don't think, we didn't try to make it look like it was something wrong with the projection necessarily. It was like a bad print. It was like a beat up print.
But even so, these people are paying money and they want to see a glossy movie and they're used to seeing these movies. I mean, Kill Bill, both those movies are so beautifully shot.
Yeah.
And there's a moment in Death Proof, which I actually love, but I can see why people would not necessarily be on the same page as you, where it's been black and white for a while, as though the guy's done something wrong in the projection. And then suddenly it flashes in the colour. When it flashes in the colour, it looks so beautiful. Yeah. And the colours on screen are exquisitely chosen. But if you're not on board with the whole idea of it being a Grindhouse thing, you're going to think, why is he wasting my time with this thing?
I don't think that's the case.
Well, it is the case. So never mind what you think, I'm telling you. And that's the problem. You need more people like me to bloody tell you. Make a proper movie. All right. You can go now.
Every time it's like, it was one of the things that's actually funny watching it with an audience. Every time it goes from the black and white to the color, there's always this,
Yeah,
in the theater.
it is a great moment. There's no doubt about it. Let me ask you about the concept of the movie, though, because Death Proof is being released as a solo movie now.
Yeah.
Great cast. Kurt Russell is fabulous, and I love Kurt Russell. I've been waiting for him to make a movie that I really enjoyed again for quite a while now. And what a great part for him, and he really is terrific.
Yeah, he plays a character named Stuntman Mike, and I can proudly say that I think Stuntman Mike sits on his rogues gallery shelf of great characters, along with Snake Plissken and McCready and Jack Burton. Yeah.
He's great. And what's the concept of Death Proof? Explain to everyone what Death Proof means in the film.
Yeah, well, what it means basically is Kurt Russell plays a character named Stuntman Mike. He's a demented ex-stuntman, and the thing is, he's a killer. His thing is he has what we call a death-proof car, which is basically a cool car that he's had a stunt team reinforce. So it's basically, it can get into the worst crash in the world, and if you're sitting in the driver's seat, you'll live through it like you do in stunt movies. And his thing is his thing is to kill women in his car. Because it's like he's a rape murderer, because as he kills all the women, the car crash itself, he can live through it. It's like a sex act. And so his thing is to go around finding posses of girls. And then when he finds a posse, he follows them for a week or so, and then finds the right moment. And he watches them go out on a Saturday night, and they drink, and they take drugs, and they get all messed up. And then as they drive home, he crashes into his car, killing them all right? But he gets to live through it. And then he recovers and then goes to another state and does it over again.
Yeah, okay. It's a...
Did that describe it?
Yeah, but it makes you sound mad as well.
I want to point out something. The actress who's on the hood of the car is Zoe Bell. She's actually the greatest... Yeah, Zoe! She's actually...
Hang on. That's the weirdest response. Here's someone no one else has heard of. Three people going nuts. But she must have a very small but select following. Yeah.
Believe me, when the movie opens, she'll have
It'll
a big
be bigger.
following.
Yeah.
Zoe is actually the greatest stunt woman in the world. And she was Uma Thurman's stunt double on Kill Bill, and she was Lucy Lawlow's stunt double on Xena.
Right.
And she's one of my best friends. She's like my sister. And I decided she's got such a great personality. I figured if I wrote a part for her, that would all come out in the movie. So I cast her in the movie because part of the thing that would be fun about it is she could do all of her own stunts. So the thing is, in this movie, she does everything in this film stunt-wise. She does all of her own stunts. And this is a big point of pride for me, because I don't know how anyone else feels, but I think these car chases in these movies in the 90s and the 2000s with all this CGI going on is crap. Absolute crap. Yeah. Part of the thing about this movie, there is no CGI in these chases whatsoever. If we couldn't do it in real life, we couldn't do it. And not only
this is all done in camera. When you see the car,
all in camera.
Even that first big scene when he goes over the car and you.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
That's remarkable.
All in camera. And not only that, there's actually no undercranking. And undercranking is a thing they would do where they shoot the film at a slower speed that when you project it, the cars look like they're going faster, which never works. You always can tell.
Yeah,
exactly. During this chase, which is about 19 minutes long, during this chase, every time we were doing it, the cars were always going 70, 80, 90, or 100 miles an hour.
And where do you have your camera when you're doing that?
Well, to put in a camera car following. Now, to put it in proper perspective, if the cars are going 100 miles an hour and we're shooting from the front, that means us in the camera car are going 110 miles an hour. In perspective.
Frankly, I'm not going to act impressed by that.
Yeah.
Because it sounds foolish and childish that you should show off the fact that you've been blatantly disregarding speeding limits. But it's great fun for you. I guess part of what I admire about your films and also your life is that you seem to make the movies you want to see.
No, definitely.
And here's a film which, they don't make these kind of films anymore, either in the sense of the car crashes being real and the car chases, but also that kind of exploitation feel to a mad killer in pursuit of people. And you've made a movie which obviously you would have wanted to see when you were younger.
Oh, actually, it's funny because I've been kind of going around the world selling the movie piecemeal. It's been really funny because we decided, as opposed to all my movies after Reservoir Dogs, they all kind of open up simultaneously all around the world together.
Yeah.
So you go to London and you're there for 5 days and then right to Germany.
Yeah.
And here we've been doling it out little by little by little. So I've been able to do a whole regional tour through the UK. So it's been fun to actually watch the movie with all these different audiences, but also have it kind of spaced out a little bit.
So where have you been in the UK? What part?
Well, I just got it back from Liverpool today.
And did you enjoy Liverpool?
Oh, I had a fantastic time. I actually met Sherry Blair.
Wow.
Yeah, she was on my...
Hang on, that's a kind of unusual thing to hear
I
you
met
say.
her this morning, actually.
I would imagine, you know, I expect you to say someone else, but Sherry Blair seems like you seem like an odd mix, the two of you.
No.
Is she a big Quentin Tarantino fan?
Well, apparently she is. Actually, what happened was it was this morning, and she was on the same floor as I was in this Liverpool hotel, and they realized I was awake because I had my radio on, so there was a knock on the door, and I opened up the door, and a British Secret Service guy is there, and he goes, Sherry Blair is next door. She'd like to meet you. I go, okay, you know. So I go outside, and she goes, oh, hello, how you doing?
Did you go in and freshen up first a bit and put a bit of... just
no, I actually just walked out, all right? And,
you didn't put any makeup on?
No makeup. Yeah. And then, you know, and so we were talking and everything, and it was we had a really nice time. And then she goes, well, can I get a picture with you? And I go, yeah, sure. She goes, well, let's not do it in the hallway. Let's go in my room.
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Tony wasn't there?
No, Tony wasn't there, all right? But I have to say, it was really...
Just leave it there.
Well,
our imagination can fill in the rest.
Actually, I have to say,
you have a spring in your step.
She was a little saucy, I have to say.
No!
Because I go into her room and we like put our arms around each other.
Samuel's shaking his head saying, don't tell this story.
We go in the room, we put our arms around each other to take the photo, and she goes, actually, my husband's off. That'll teach him. Next time they go off, I got me a new man.
I think you've confused her with a Victorian prostitute.
I did a little bit of a Don Cheadle there. Sorry about that.
Quentin, how great to see you again.
Good to be here.
You're a great character. I love meeting you, but certainly I love your movies. Mr. Quentin Tarantino, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Great to see you again. Thank you so much. It was great fun. Thank you. The makeup wasn't so bad.
Thank you.
How's Quentin?